welcome back. Stats23 here, back again with some knife therapy, and today I have a fun video. I was going through some old stuff from our move that was in a box, and I found some of my old tactical knives and magazines, and it just brought back some really nostalgic memories, and it gave me the idea to do another one of my old and rare discontinued pocket knives collection. I mean, look at this. This was back, let's see, what is this, from 2008. I used to keep all of them because I like to see some of these old knives. I mean, look at this, how cool. If you ever want me to do a video on some of these, so if you didn't know, love the junkyard dog. If you didn't weren't in the hobby at that time, I could do it. I know I have at least 3 of these, or 4 of them maybe, unless I can find the other box. I had tons and tons of these. But let's get started because I don't want this to be super long. This is just another part of the knife hobby that I love, because I love bringing back those old nostalgic feelings. I've been in the hobby for a long time now, and the people that have been around for a while, they'll enjoy these too. So let's get into it. First up, we have one from Gerber. This is the Gerber Easy Out, a USA made Gerber, and ATS 34, and pretty much all these, if they have a pocket clip, they're going to be some nice tip down action right there. ATS 34 is basically 154 cm. This was a really cool knife. The action on this thing is super smooth. It's got a little half stop to it for a back lock. I'm not really sure why, but easy to open. It's got a little finger choil right there. It's pretty darn thick behind the edge, but I don't know. I like it. Plastic scales on it, very lightweight. This next was a Kershaw, and I used to have several of these. I love this knife. This is the Kershaw Mini Cyclone. This is a Ken Onion design. He's designed so many knives for Kershaw that became super popular. And the cool thing about this one, besides the aesthetics, I think, and how comfortable it is this is essentially a double action, I guess you could say, because as you can see, it's manual close, and in the open position, you have this on-off switch right here, and let's flip it to the on switch, flip it forward, and now it's an assisted knife. There you go. So very cool. I didn't really see this on anything else, I don't think, besides this one. Aluminum scales. I got him tip down because tip up, it's way too much sticking out of the pocket. And this is my last one that I still have. These were made in August of 06. Made in USA. Very, very cool. Love the Mini Cyclone. I wish I had the bigger one as well. Used to have the one in the ZDP 189. Oh, I wish I never would have gotten rid of that. Next up is the CRKT Starlight. This is an Alan Lishwitz collaboration. And it has his the E-lock system, this right here. I don't know if you'll be able to see in there, but let's see if I can shed some light on it. It's basically a little tab you see behind the tang. Oh, it doesn't want to focus. There's a tab behind the tang right there. When you press this, it moves away from the blade, so you can disengage the lock right there. It has a flipper, but that's about all it goes. It's got a nice tapered handle right there. And it's got a heavy blasted finish on the aluminum frames with the starlight pattern, I guess you could say. Folded over pocket clip and tip down only. These were in, I think, AUS 6 maybe, steel. Something they used to use a lot. Very cool design. Next up, we have the Gerber Titan. Titanium frame lock, ATS 34 steel. Designer is Mr. Fred Carter, and it's got some nice little track inserts embedded into the titanium, and you got this beautiful pocket clip that flows so well with that tip down action. I'll tell you, this is a comfortable little knife, super smooth action. It's on, I think it's on Teflon. No, I can't really, it might be on phosphor bronze. Single-sided thumb stud. And you can actually front flip it because of the jimping that goes to the back right there. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but you can easily front flip it. Super cool knife. This would have been, I guess, a higher end knife at the time. It's a liner lock. Very cool as well. Next up, we have the Lone Wolf Knives T2, and you might recognize this design because this is a William Harsey design, the same designer of the Harsey folder, obviously. And they look a lot alike, except this is a full flat grind. They also have one with a swedge up here with a T1. I love this knife. It has S30V steel. It has these like plastic rubbery scales on it that I'm not too fond of, but I still love the knife. It's an old knife, titanium liner lock there. S30V if I didn't say that. And man, I wish Lone Wolf Knives was still around because they had some very, very cool designs. I used to have several of them, and I miss all of them. The Diablo is one of my favorites. I shouldn't have got rid of that one, but, you know, whatever. You can't keep them all. And Benchmade basically bought the brand, Lone Wolf brand, and basically turned it into garbage and dissolved the brand altogether. So no longer Lone Wolf Knives at all. It's a shame. Loved it. Next up, we have the CRKT Lake Signature. This is a Ron Lake design. He is just a notable figure in knife history. He's got something in the Smithsonian, I think, and that's amazing. Cool knife right here. It came with a little leather fob there, aluminum scales, all 6 blade with this like little shelf right there to open it. And this one had this sliding clip. You can see how it has this little thing right here. You can slide the clip over, and basically what that was is, if you remember their locks system, it was a safety mechanism that allowed it made it to where you couldn't disengage that liner. And basically what it does, this one does, a version of that, is it's it puts a little pin inside there. Let's see if I can show you this. You slide this over, slide it over, and it puts a little pin right there so you can't go any further that way with it. Tip down construction, obviously. Cool knife. You can get some of these knives that I'm showing if you search on eBay and stuff like that, and go to like eProg. Sometimes you can find them. I've always loved this CRKT. This is a CRKT Tytack, a Brian Ty design. I just think it looks so nice. If you put some premium materials on here and slap the decent blade steel in it, I think it would sell like hotcakes. Just take that pot clip and put it down here. Just a very beautiful, like gentleman tactical style knife. Thumb disc, all 6 blade steel. Very, very smooth action, comfortable in hand. Brian Ty, you know, he's a well-renowned custom knife maker, and this is the first, I guess, of the Tytack. All his names have Ty something in front of them. Tiebreaker, Ty, I don't know, all of them. I think. So there you go. That is the Tytack. Next up, we have the Buck Mayo 173 North Shore. This is the stainless steel version. They got another version of the TNT with titanium frame lock and S30V, but this one's in 428C, and I think this was one of the first knives I sharpened on my Wicked Edge, or the first knife I brought to a polish on my Wicked Edge. And I mean, if you ever sharpened up 428C, it gets ridiculously sharp. It doesn't hold that edge too long, but even though, you know, I've had some issues with this knife and I've had to fix a few things, I still love the knife. And I used to be able to get them all the time at my at one of my local gun and knife shows. They used to always have a bunch of these. Hadn't seen that many recently, but I think if I see another one, I might grab it. They're usually like 40 bucks at the gun and knife show. Contoured aluminum scales, stainless liner in there, lightweight. It's pretty chunky. Saber grind on it, but it's cool. Well, next up we have a Kershaw that has seen better days, and that is my Kershaw Sapphire. This was Kershaw's attempt at a high-end, not high-end folder, I guess you could say. You have titanium scales on a stainless liner lock. stainless pocket clip, and AUS 8A steel. I've been wanting to clean mine up finally and put a fresh edge on it. I got chips in the edge. You can see it up there in the front. Just, it's still a cool knife and definitely brings back some cool memories. I think it's a very good looking knife as well. Next up, we have the CRKT Convergence. This is an Aaron Frederick design, and it's a pretty cool knife as far as like things that were into the knife. First, you have these like golf ball textured scales, contoured, and then they have this, what is it called? The Real Ease Lock Release. And basically what it is, you see this little tab right here? That little tab. Well, how does it go? Yeah. You pull, basically all you do is pull down on it right there, and it releases that lock. And there you go. It has the locks system where you can slide this forward and make it to where it won't disengage on you. It's a top flipper. Cool overall aesthetics. I love Aaron Frederick's designs. You can use it without the Real Ease lock release if you want. You can just push over that liner, but it's kind of hard because it's inset in there. So just a lot easier to pull down on it like that and slowly close it. Next up, we got a pair of CRKTs, and that is the Greg Lightfoot Urban Shark, large and small. This, I've always thought this was a cool design. Very, aggressive point there. Plastic scales, the Greg Lightfoot logo right here. Urban Shark, LUS2, tip down. Yep, comfortable little knives, smooth, and got the pair of them. Next up, we got the Kershaw Storm. This is a Ken Onion design, another one that I've always loved. I bought this one from a gun show. It was destroyed, and I experimented with some mod work to bring it back to life a little bit. This was in 13C26, it was USA made. I liked it because it was a manual folder, comfortable in hand, major recurve there. I did some work to the spine as well on this one. And tip down, because tip up you had that much of the knife sticking out. But next up, we have an old Spyderco Clipit Endura in VG10. It doesn't even have the bi-directional, or I guess that could be bi-directional, but it's just a different pattern there. You can see Clipit Endura. And I don't know, I think it's cool to see how it's evolved. Next up, we have the SOG Spec Elite Mini with their old school arc lock there. And I've always thought the blade looked nice. I never liked the little subtle recurve they had there. Plastic scales there. Good grip to them. And very smooth action. I think these were, yeah, VG10 made in Second City. I don't know many Gerbers, but these next two I thought were pretty cool, old school ones. And this is the Gerber International with the carbon fiber G10 laminate there, ATS 34 steel. Just a very nice, classy looking, lightweight knife. It's got the old first production run there, made in Taiwan. It has a funky pot clip, but I took it off, carried it in a slip for a while. Very cool little knife. The Gerber International, also, like I said, ATS 34. And just like that last Gerber, both these Gerbers are USA made Gerbers. And this one, I call it the blacked out Gerber because I don't know the actual name to it. Couldn't find it anywhere. It's in 154 CM steel. Said Gerber USA, G10 scales, titanium liner lock, beautiful tip down pocket clip, and a first production run. Comfortable in hand. Very, very smooth action on this knife. And this 154 has not gotten a sharpened since I got this, because I got this in an old new stock from my local shop, and it had this mirror polished edge on it, or semi mirror polished, and it's still razor sharp. That's impressive. This next one's not super old, but it's from CRKT, and it is the CRKTeros, and this is the older version with the titanium scales and the Acuto 440 steel. Where is it? Is it on here? It's in Acuto 440, basically. Not basically, it is. Ken Onion design. It's on IKBS bearings, the loose ones. And it's got good action. It's got that crazy looking pocket clip. Very, very lightweight. They came out with a stainless steel version of this. Crown spine on there. Pretty cool CRKT. I haven't had the best luck with CRKT. So this one is kind of special to me. If you love CRKT, that's fine. I'm not saying anything bad about them. I don't have good luck with them. Next up, we have a USA made Browning knife. This is the Browning Independence. It's got that milled scale still left on the grinds. And it's a button lock, very smooth action on it. 154 cm steel. I put an edge on it. I used to use this a good bit. Digicam G10 inlay, aluminum frame. Just a cool knife, single-sided thumb stud, tip down, comfortable in hand. Got this from a gun store a long time ago for a really good deal. I used to have several of these as well, and that is the Cold Steel. Look, there it is. Twistmaster. Basically, it's like what is it? Open L almost. It has this twist lock. Pretty hard. Some of them are really hard to turn. Mine's well broken. So basically turn that and it kind of locks the blade in place just like an open L. You can turn this back. These were in, I don't know if you can still see it because it's worn up. There it is, Carbon V. Made in, oh, I can't even see that. Is it made in the USA? I don't remember. But they had different blade shapes as well. I had to sharpen this one up because it had seen better days. I had found it in a shoebox full of old beat up knives that I had. We have another SOG, and that is the SOG Stingray. This has always been one of my favorite SOGs back in the day. You have the VG10 Sanmai blade. You can see the Sanmai lamination point right there at the bottom. Mother of pearl inlay on the thumb stud and on the scales. Two things I don't love about the knife. The scales are stainless steel, and I don't like this part right there with the SOG branding on it. It's not sharp, but it's just not the most comfortable. This jimping's a little aggressive. It's got the arc lock, but it doesn't have a pocket clip. Super bummer, because I would have carried this a lot more. Very smooth action though. It has that like buttery glide, smooth over glass type action. Very nice. Just like a lot of the arc lock models had. When I got this buck, it used to be a safe going to me a long time ago, and that is the Buck Alpha Dorado. This is the cheaper one in the 428C, the charcoal birch wood overlay over the stainless steel handles. Came with like a nylon slip on this one. I always thought it was a good looking harpoon style design, comfortable in hand. I had a fixed blade kind of like it as well. Made in the great US of A. They had one that was in S30V in rosewood. My brother had that one. I always wanted to buy it from him, but he wouldn't sell it to me. On phosphor bronze washers. Cool knife here, kind of chunky. I searched for this one forever, and this is the Spyderco Leaf Storm. This is a Kevin Wilkins design. He was a graphic designer, then turned into a custom knife maker, a knife designer as well. S30V steel, JG10 titanium frame lock, hollow ground. It's not the most comfortable knife in the world in my hands, and it's probably not the best looking for most of y'all, but it's just, this one brings back, you know, some really good sentimental type, or just puts me in my feels, as some people say. Very cool knife. I think this was the first frame lock that Spyderco made. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong down below, but I don't know why. I believe it is. Maybe not. That is the Spyderco Leaf Storm, made in Golden, Colorado. Or maybe the first frame lock, titanium frame lock that Spyderco did and didn't have it sent out. I don't know. Next up, we have the Poor Man Sebenza. This is the Bradley Cutlery Alias 1, the larger one. I think these were made by Benchmade for Bradley. I'm not certain on that, but I don't know why. I think I remember this. USA made. I remember when these were when these came out. That's what everybody titled their video, "The Poor Man Sebenza." I guess, whatever. It's a titanium frame lock. The blades are completely different, but it has excellent action. It's very smooth, but its detent is almost non-existent. It's a very soft detent. Still love the knife though. Next up, we have the Benchmade 527 Pardue Mini Presidio Ultra. This one is in the Grivery scales. A beautiful hollow grind that comes down to a nice thin edge on this one. 440C blade, Mel Pardue design, comfortable in hand. I've always loved the Presidio line. This is probably one of my favorites because this thing slices like a champ with that thinly ground 440C blade. It's a hollow ground blade. Very nice. All right, next up we got this little bitty Rigid Knives RG80 and ATS 34 G10 liner lock. It's a little bitty guy. Tip down. Look how far down the tip goes. I mean the clip goes. So almost half the knife sticking out of the pocket. ATS 34, made in Japan, 100% lockup. Last but certainly not least, we have the Kershaw Orange County Chopper Edition Leak. And it's seen some better days. I snapped tip off a long time ago. And it's seen some love, you know. This one was made in April of 08. Came with like a commemorative tin. It's got this little aluminum overlay with the spider web in it. And this was around the time when I was watching Orange County Choppers on TV like religiously. So when I saw they made a collaboration, Kershaw had to have it. And I know a lot of people saw what they thought was a Kershaw leak in my Most Dangerous Knives gas station knives. That was not a leak. That was a leak wannabe that I got from the cable guy. He left it here whenever I gifted him a new knife. So no, I wouldn't have called the leak a gas station knife. That was a clone of a leak that he had bought from a gas station. So there you go. That is my rare and discontinued knives. If you collect old knives or you have any old models, definitely share them down below. If not, let me know which one of these did you think were interesting. Anytime I pick up a new one, it just puts a smile on my face and brings me back to, you know, those times. And look how far we've come in the knife community with some amazing stuff. And like I said, if y'all want to see a video of like going through some of those old knife magazines, y'all let me know. I definitely would set up something. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute amazing day, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.